We've seen Craigslist. We got one more. Ford Ranger, 1998. See, it is automatic, 6-cylinder. Which 6-cylinder? Because these had numerous 6-cylinders in them. Check engine light due to O2 sensors needing replacement. Otherwise, engine body in very good condition. Truck is wonderfully reliable and good looking. I would not be selling. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not. We need more seating due to growing family. Yeah, I'm not wild about this. I'm not. These are not. Oh, it's got a 4-liter. So for one thing, I believe by 98 they had transitioned the 4-liter over to the single overhead cam. The pushrod version of the 4-liter was an okay engine. It was acceptable. It was really, they were fine. Well, so 98 they still had the overhead valve. Okay, so that's better than the overhead cam. It was not till 01 that they transitioned to the single overhead cam. So 98 would still be, yeah, those are decent. Yeah, those are decent engines. I don't really trust the transmissions, but my issue with this is just that it's not worth this kind of money. These are not special. They're a dime a dozen. Everybody, like, they're just not worth that much money, and this one is not even in that good a shape. Like, you know, like little stuff that annoys me, like it's missing a center cap, which, like, I know, like, it doesn't mean anything, but it's like you're asking beyond full retail for a vehicle. Like, you need to be serving me a box lunch while I look at it. You know, like, it should have all the center caps. It's black. I'm not a fan of black paint because it doesn't hold up well. It's in, like, okay shape, but not. It's like just in between, like. It's not in, this is not a cherry vehicle, you know, like there's a difference between like, oh my God, it's ready for the junkyard. It's, you know, like somebody had an orgy and then died of Ebola in it, and then pristine, and there's somewhere in the middle of those two, and this is like in the middle, you know, like, so clearly the person is smart enough, they cleaned it, they vacuumed it out, but like there's enough stains in the carpet to know like this thing is not anything special. Yeah, like the paint's gone. The paint's gone, and short of thousands of dollars, it's never coming back. So there's that. Like, I mean, you're asking again, and this is like, and you're sending me for this from the West Coast, where from what I've gathered, prices tend to be lower. So like, I would expect, like, dude, I just don't think that this is. I think this is like worth roughly half of what he's asking, like if that. I mean, and there's been a lot of things that you've sent from out there that are like. I'm like, oh my God, that's a screaming deal. Like this, I just don't feel that way about. Yeah, these Rangers, like they're not that great. They're fine. They're okay. They're a dime a dozen. I do not trust the transmissions. The engines, depending on which engine it is, it depends. The overhead valve ones are okay. So like this one is the 4-liter. That's trustworthy enough. It's not going to get great mileage, but that's, you know, it comes with the territory. But yeah. This would like, that's the issue with the Ford Ranger is like, if you took this exact truck, but it was in like it was in like brochure quality condition, I'd be like, oh my God, wow, that's awesome. You have a $5,000 truck. But then, yeah, man, I'm salty because I got burnt on one once. So it was a Ford Ranger with the automatic, and then it's got a check engine light. And it's got a check, I forgot about that part. And it's got a check engine light. And it's like, not like, dude, first off, if it's a check engine light that is really due to O2 sensors needing replacement, if it's really that cheap and easy, and you really want full retail for this thing, then you would just do the O2 sensors and then sell the car, right? You would put the horse before the cart, so to speak, right? You would fix the O2 sensors. If it's that simple, you just fix the O2 sensors, put it up for sale. But the reality is, number one, like not only is that like just sloppy, but number two, like it kind of tells you he has no faith in the car, because this guy probably, let me tell you, like when somebody puts up a car for sale with a problem like that, and they want to sell it with the problem rather than fix the problem, it's probably because they've been on the treadmill of this car for so long, fixing problem and playing whack-a-mole. Like one problem comes, they fix it, and then another problem immediately pops up, and they've just been on that cycle for so long that this guy knows, well, even if I put new O2 sensors to sell it, this will be the 17th thing I've fixed in a 17-month span of time. And as soon as I fix that, I know something else is going to break. So I'm just going to sell the thing broken because it's never really going to be fixed. And it may even indicate that he has no faith that the O2 sensors being replaced is actually going to fix anything, because like anything with a check engine code, you get the code for the sensor with the bad reading. Okay, the bad reading at the sensor may or may not be the sensor being broken. The reading could be bad at the sensor for any number of reasons. Like, so it's very cheap to me when somebody says like the check engine light is on because the O2 sensors need replacement. That's not a thing. That does not exist. Check engine lights can be on for O2 sensor codes because the O2 sensor has a bad reading, but like the check engine light cannot tell you when the O2 sensors need replacement. Now, if you get a check engine light for an O2 sensor reading, it could mean that the O2 sensors need replacement, and replacing the O2 sensors will cause them to get a good reading, and then everything will be great. But it could also mean that the car has like vacuum leaks or mechanical engine problems or other sensors going bad or a computer issue or wiring or electrical or anything, literally anything going on that could cause the fuel trims to be messed up, and the fuel trims being messed up will cause the O2 sensors to read wrong, and there's your O2 sensor code. So yes, it could be $35 at AutoZone, you know, but it could also be like, yeah, literally anything, you know, up to and including like the totalization of the vehicle. So that's my thing with check engine lights. With check engine lights and with people who want to sell cars with a seemingly simple problem without fixing it, and people who want to diagnose the problem on their way to go sell it and tell you how simple and easy and cheap it's going to be, and like that, just like all of it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Just like it, like as soon as you say check engine light is on for O2 sensors needing replacement, I'm immediately like, yeah, just like, yeah, I'm not. It's 4-wheel drive, at least that's good. And also and I've said this before, like I would not be selling, but we need more seating due to a growing family. Like, is that a perfectly legitimate reason to sell a car? Yes. With that being said, when somebody unprompted gives you an alibi for why they're selling their car, to me that's just never a good sign. Like, if you could have written this exact same ad and you could have ended it at this truck is wonderfully reliable and good looking, and it would have read more trustworthy to me than like if you continue by saying I would not be selling because this is great and I love it and obviously everything is good and everything is fine and it's so reliable. Oh my God, what a great truck. But we just have to because our family is doing things and we need the thing and the stuff. And it's like, yeah, save it. Like, if you really thought that this was the greatest thing ever, like, first off, why'd you buy it if your family's... And maybe they've had it forever, but typically most people don't. I mean, most people who are selling a car on Craigslist have had it for not very long. I mean, just statistically speaking. And then, like, I'm slandering this poor person, whoever they are. But, I don't know. And if it was so great, why wouldn't you just park in your backyard and buy yourself an Accord to drive around with your kids? Or whatever. I don't know. But that was a long rant just to say, like, I don't know what I just said.